entering Columbia County, Wisconsin. On the last video I did yesterday, I brought out how would we strengthen ourselves, get through the tests that are thrown at us, we'll eventually be left alone in time. And that makes sense because why are negative entities going to waste their energy on us? If we're strong and we're going to fight back and put up a fight, they're always going to go for the weaker ones. But they know we're not really going to put up a fight against them. So we don't want to be one of those weaker ones. We want to continue to fortify ourselves. So that is what I talked about on my last video I did yesterday. At least on the last one that had discussion in it. The last two I did yesterday were just ride-along videos. This is exit 119, Wisconsin Highway 60, Colody and Burlington. Food office exit A&W, Rocky Rococo and Pizza Cousins. Gas, Exxon, or Mobile, and Lodging, Quality and Suites. What do I want to talk about today? I'd like to talk about the Bermuda Triangle mystery. At first, I learned of the Bermuda Triangle as a child. I could read books about mysterious disappearances of ships, planes. Very highly intrigued me. Wondered what happened to all of these things that disappeared there without a trace. Wondered how that could possibly happen, how something could just disappear without a trace like that. At age 16, family took a trip to Bermuda. They went. I remember on the plane looking down on the way, flying out of Newark, New Jersey. It was the first time I'd ever been on a plane. And it looked so incredible to me to see the clouds from above. My eyes were glued out the window almost the whole flight. And we were flying into this area that is known as the Bermuda Triangle. Obviously, to get there, cold front had passed through the prior evening, so as we flew off the coast, I could see the thunderstorms that were associated with the front off in the distance to the east, and we flew over them. Actually flew through the tops of them. I still remember that, even though it's been that long ago. And then we got to the other side of the front, the sky's cleared, I could look down, see the ocean, the puffy clouds far below. Even saw our ship, very tiny from that altitude, but it looked like a cruise ship heading perhaps to Bermuda. We came into the island and saw all the reefs offshore as the plane approached. The room that we had looked out into the Atlantic, off in the direction of the Bermuda Triangle, looking south. And I wondered what really happened to all these objects that disappear there. Where did they go? What happened to them? What was the experience for these people? Were they actually killed? Did they go into another reality somewhere? This is something that always intrigued me. I always wondered what caused whatever it is that is making these things disappear. The research I've done, I feel personally that something about the magnetic field of the Earth, there are aberrations in that area, in the magnetic field. And these could be caused by a lot of different things. Solar activity levels have an effect on the Earth's magnetism. Solar activity is high, and the magnetism is different than when solar activities are low. If there's a solar flare that hits the atmosphere, it affects the magnetism of the Earth. So there's variations in this magnetism of the Earth. It's always varying, it's always changing from day to day, moment to moment. Not only that, but there could be other things contributing to this. There's a lot of talk about Atlantis, about the technology that prior civilizations had, that there could be something in that area that's contributing to the magnetism aberrations. That, in concert with variations in solar activity, could at times trigger this aberration to make objects disappear. And perhaps go into another dimension, a time warp. It could be a warp into another reality that's created perhaps temporarily by a window may temporarily open up, and a plane might just happen to be going through that spot where that window opens up. And that's kind of how I feel about it. And that leads me into another topic that seems to coincide with, it has a similar pattern to what happens in the Bermuda Triangle. We know that when they disappear, the people that have survived and made it back describe the green fog enveloping around their craft. They describe that they're magnetic. This is why I say it's magnetic field, because just about all the cases, their compasses stop working, their electrical equipment shuts down on them. So obviously anything involving magnetism would do that. Aberrations would do that. It would shut down anything electrical. So this relates to another thing I had been researching for some years about, that seems to relate to the Bermuda Triangle disappearances. And that involves the Philadelphia experiment that was conducted back, I believe it was the 40s. The reason why that intrigued me is because, again, what happened with that kind of relates to what happens in the Bermuda Triangle with these disappearances. And in this case, the magnetism was artificially created. And an experiment was done, seeing what it would do. The U.S. government claims that this is fictional and it never happened. Officially claims that this experiment was never conducted. According to the accounts, research I've done, Philadelphia's ship was actually made to disappear using magnetism. And as a result of this, a window was opened up to other realities for those participants, which some of them actually went through to another reality, another time even. Because there was a lack of understanding as to how this works, it was more of a kind of shoot blindfold at the target kind of experiment. No, if you shoot blindfold at a target, you're not going to really hit the bullseye. Very low chance. You're going to more than likely miss. And This is the type of experiment that required a bullseye for it to totally work because of so many things involved with it or not fully understood. As a result, many, according to the account I've read, many came out of that permanently harmed by it, mentally especially. Ones that did survive, some didn't survive. Some never came back. Just disappeared and that was it. So, I was deeply intrigued with that account. I've done a lot of research personally. Read several books involving the account. And how does this connect with the Bermuda Triangle? In other areas of the Earth that are similar, well, Bermuda Triangle is the most well-known area. There are others on the Earth where these disappearances happen as well. Again, the main bottom line common denominator is magnetism. An aberration magnetically was, the Philadelphia experiment, artificially created in such a way that it opened up a window to other realities. And some people actually went through this window. You went through this window. In related experiments, portals were actually opened up and objects and even people were sent through them, according to some of the research I've done. Amazing accounts of people that were sent to even other planets. Through this magnetic aberration that's created that opens up these windows to be where you can instantly be transported elsewhere, even anywhere in the universe. But my take on this all is mankind in general ready to have the freedom to make full use of this? To where we could have will transport ourselves anywhere we want in the universe. Are we ready? Are we evolved enough as humans to handle that kind of power, that kind of freedom? According to these accounts, it is possible to do. Of course, we have to know what we're doing. If we don't totally know what we're doing with that, you can transport somebody and they'll end up either in the wrong place and then that's it. It's all over for them. I mean, they have to go where they can survive at their destination. They can't go into the middle of a rock wall or something. Or some point out in outer space. Obviously, they're not going to survive at their point of destination. They have to. So is this possible? Well, again, there were accounts I've read where experiments were conducted. And humans were actually transported to other places. through portals created magnetically. Windows were opened. Could you imagine having the freedom to not only go anywhere on this earth you want, but to go anywhere in the universe you want? Even me, myself, just to even explore this earth alone, to even, in my lifetime so far, I have only explored a tiny, tiny fraction of this earth. As I said in my previous videos, I believe we're really put here to explore, to enjoy, to learn. Not only about the earth we're on, but the universe in general. We're ultimately put here to explore the universe. I know that even as a young kid, at 8 years old, I got a telescope as a gift for, I think it was Christmas. At 8 years old, I was pointing that telescope up into the heavens. I was showing my relatives through that telescope the moons of Jupiter. I was showing them Saturn's rings. I was showing them the crescent shape of Venus in the evening sky. This was at 8 years old. I was pointing the telescope at these objects and showing adults these wonders up in the sky, the planets. The moons of Jupiter. You can even see the bands on the planet faintly if you look closely. It wasn't a very powerful telescope. I looked at the Andromeda Galaxy. This was at 8 years old. I looked at the nebula in Orion constellation. I had a star atlas. I pointed the telescope at. I tried to find as many objects off that atlas as I could in my telescope. So we're put here not only to explore the Earth, but learn about the universe as well. To learn about, I look up at the sky, I learned all the constellations. At age 8, I could point out many constellations in the sky. I knew the names of stars. I pointed it to the moon, looked at the craters. So yes, even at a very, very young age, the universe intrigued me, the Bermuda Triangle. I learned of all the unexplained things, mysteries, they call it, UFOs. Was there life elsewhere in the universe? Even at 8 years old, I thought about a lot of this. Did I have any actual experience with aliens? I don't believe I ever have, at least not in my conscious memory. Yet, when when I flew on that airplane to go to Bermuda and I looked down at those clouds, I didn't want to be a pilot. I wanted to be up there, to look down on the earth. It was amazing to me to be able to look down on the earth, even from that level. Look at the clouds from above, how different they looked. I felt like being a pilot would be the perfect job for me. I just love being up there. So where did that come from? Why was I born with that desire? Why did my eyes turn to the heavens, even at a very young age? Those are some things that I've pondered about. At present, I can look up in the sky and probably name every constellation just about that I see up there. How many people can actually do that? How many people can look up at the sky and point out instantly what planets are there, where they're at? I could even do that at 8 years of age. Even at 8 years of age, I knew I was pointing that telescope at a planet, and I knew what planet it was. How many people, even as adults, can do that? How many people can actually say what constellation the sun is right now in the sky? Where is it at? What constellation is it moving through? What constellation is the moon in? Doesn't really matter. Can we tell the difference if something is really a UFO that we're looking at? Is it just a satellite? Is it a planet? Or is it something else? Is it an airplane? Is it a helicopter? So I'm going on 30 minutes here. I think that's going to be it for this discussion for this video. They usually keep it to about 30 minutes. I usually lose my image after that on this phone. I think it's just, it can only hold so much data. So I will be coming up on Wisconsin Dells soon here. The rain has stopped, the skies have cleared. Looks like it's going to stay clear for a while here. So that will be it for this video. I will try to get a couple more in today. Hope you enjoyed this discussion about my early interest in Bermuda Triangle and Philadelphia experiment, and being intrigued with the heavens from a very young age.